my name is Maria Bárbara Cepeda Cortés, but you can call me Professor Cepeda. My area of expertise is vast. I'm a political historian of Latin America, the Caribbean, and the 18th century Spanish Empire. At Lehigh, I teach a course called Narcos, the Global Drug Wars. In it, students explore the history behind the modern phenomenon of drug trafficking in Latin America. And we do it with a very global perspective, in the sense that we start with questions such as how do drugs become global commodities in the first place back in the 16th and 17th centuries?
Hi, my name is Bill Bowman. I study the global consequences of the English Revolution and Europe's violent confrontation with religious pluralism. Recently, this resulted in a book on the origins of majority rule, and in my teaching at Lehigh, I extend that interest into the broader history of democracy, on which I teach a series of courses.
My name is Kwame Essien, Associate Professor of History and Africana Studies. My research and teaching focuses on African history, African cultures, African civilizations, slavery and colonialism in Africa. Students get to interact with various primary documents, and I hope you will find some of these classes interesting and be able to join my class. Thank you.
Hi there. My name is Nitzan Lebovic. I'm a professor at the History Department and Jewish Studies at Lehigh. I'm researching and wrote about the history of fascism and anti-Semitism and racism, about history of Zionism. I'm teaching courses related to these issues, such as the history of the Holocaust every fall, the history of fascism, different topics in European history, a course about modern Jewish culture, and other topics. I hope to see you in my courses.
I'm Emily Popobita, and I study and teach modern U.S. history at Lehigh. My own work centers largely on immigration history, especially deportation, and some of the classes that I teach here include immigration history, the U.S. and the world in the 20th century, the U.S. since World War II, and prisons and policing in modern U.S. history. And a lot of these courses really give us the opportunity to grapple with some of the major questions in our contemporary political landscape. Things like the histories of racism and xenophobia, social movements, how our current day structures and institutions have been developed, and how people have resisted and challenged them over time. So we look at things like long-standing debates over border control and refugee policy, past mobilizations against police brutality, and movements for prison reform and abolition, and many other topics. And these issues have always been central to American politics and social relations, and having a deeper context for them gives us a more nuanced understanding of many of the pressing social issues of our current moment, and it can help us become not only better informed, but more thoughtful in our political engagement, everyday interactions, and our efforts for social change.
Hi there, I am Uğur Peçe. I'm a historian of the Middle East and the Ottoman Empire. One of the courses I teach is called Histories of Globalization. If you take this class, you will encounter many non-Western voices and study globalization not as a story about the rise of the West, but as a complex narrative of resistance against capitalism and imperialism. See you in class.
Hi everyone, I'm John Savage. I teach modern European history in the history department. I also teach in the global studies program where I do the intro course. I do a class called Histories of Globalization, which is cross-listed between the two. An upper-level class that I do is the French Revolution and Napoleon, a global history. So it kind of brings together the global and the historical. In the summers, most of the time I offer a program abroad called Lehigh in Paris, which is a history of the city of Paris since Roman times up to the present. And let's see, another hat that I wear is I am the Director of Graduate Studies in History. So for our MA and PhD programs in transnational history, Atlantic world history, and that relates more to my research on the legal history of France's slave society in the 19th century.